directed and starred in The Brothers McMullen and She's the One. In his latest film, No Looking Back, he stars with Lauren Holly and John Bon Jovi. Let's take a look.
I just wanted to see if, if you're happy with all this, Still living here, working in this place, whole routine.
What business is that of yours?
Hey, come on, Claudia, I've known you your whole life, all right? I just can't see you being okay with this.
Yeah, well, it's not like I'm going to be here forever,
Oh, really? You see your friend back here? That's what she said, too. Now look at her. I swear another couple of months in this town, and your hair's going to turn blue, too.
Did you come here to eat or to abuse me?
Please welcome Edward Burns. Great. Congratulations on everything.
Thanks.
Yeah, things are going great.
Yeah,
we both kind of started out around the same time, which
we
is
did.
I always very happy for you that things are going so well.
Yeah, this is 3 for 3 with me and you.
Yeah, that's right. And I guess, well, it's a long story, but basically we met years ago when you were an unknown and I was an unknown, and my press conference and you were working there.
Lauren Holly told. Yeah.
It was an amazing story.
I was at the Rainbow Room.
Yeah, Rainbow Room, which is right up here at the top of Rockefeller Center, and things are going great. And what better example of how well things are going for you? They let you throw out the first ball yesterday at the Mets game.
Yeah.
First game of the season.
Yeah,
which
that's pretty cool.
Now, how many people are watching you when you do that? What is that? Is that 10,000 people?
No,
how many?
I guess they have like 45 at the stadium.
45?
Yeah, so that was terrifying.
I could not throw a baseball with 45,000 people watching me.
I was terrified, because I have a pretty good arm, but the fear is that you would go out there and for whatever reason screw it up.
Yeah,
in front of the whole country, you look like... Yeah.
And then just start, I can do it again. No, that's okay.
Yeah. And they don't give you a couple of warm-up tosses either. You're going out there cold.
Right.
So, but I did a nice job.
Did you practice beforehand? Because I would have been practicing all night.
I went to the batting cage and tossed about 15 beforehand.
Yeah.
And, I'm getting old. I threw out my back. One toss, and my back is killing me today.
Right, okay. Well, that's just, but it was one good toss. That's all you need in front of that many people.
It was worth it.
Now, the other thing I wanted to mention was you have, of course, had all the success. You still claim that you have a comfortable level of fame. Is that right? That it's not out of hand. What do you mean by a comfortable level of fame? Well,
I get to do, I get great seats for the Knicks. I can go to good restaurants. But for the most part, people don't, really hassle me. Occasionally I had a situation a while ago. I'm walking down the street, and there are these two cute women walking towards me. And just as I pass them, one of the girls says, "Oh, hey, that was Ed Burns." And the other girl goes, "Yuck." So I can,
I know what you're talking about.
So I can, so I got some fans in the East Village.
I know those girls, yeah. Now, last time you were on the show, you were talking about, one of the great things about being in show business is you occasionally get to meet your idols, and I certainly got to meet a bunch of my idols. But last time you were talking about meeting Tom Petty, who you really like. You've met someone since then who's a big idol of yours. Who's that?
I got to meet, I guess it was about, it was during Springsteen's Tom Joad tour. My brother and I drove up to Connecticut and went to the show, just had regular seats. And we thought, it was right after McMullen, and we thought, hey, why don't we try and play the Fame ticket? We'll see if we can get backstage and meet Bruce. So we go to the backstage area and said, look, Ed Burns, I did the Brothers McMullen. Obviously, someone forgot to give me my backstage passes.
Right.
Do you think you can help us out? And they said, yeah, go right in. So
that worked? Oh, cool.
So we got backstage with that. But then they put us in what's like the green room, just hanging out with the stagehands, kids, and stuff like that. And it's obvious nobody, Bruce is not hanging around. And we decide to leave, and as we're leaving, Bruce is walking down the hallway with his buddy. And his friend, a guy named Matty D'Elia, had seen McMullen, says, hey, you're the guy from McMullen. So he said, why don't you guys come back and have a drink? So we hung out with Bruce and got to meet him, and it's pretty cool.
And now his music is in your movie. Yeah. It's all over the movie. You use a lot of Springsteen music. Yeah, we got 3 of his tunes, and his wife, Patti Scalfa, gave us 3 songs. I was curious about something, because Bon Jovi's in the movie. Yeah. Were his feelings hurt that Bon Jovi must have said, hey, who's going to do the music? And you said, a really great New Jersey rock star. Yeah. And Bon Jovi's probably like, yeah, well, when do I? Yeah, Springsteen. Oh.
No, John and I had talked about it because, I mean, John in this film, it's a drama about a working class community, and John plays, very much the regular Joe.
Yeah.
So then during one of those scenes, Bon Jovi comes blasting through the jukebox.
It ruins the image?
Might have thrown things off, You
sure he didn't try to work a song into the dialogue or something? There's a scene where he says, I really feel like we're living on a prayer here. And I don't know what to do. We're like, no, cut!
Yeah. No, fortunately, John takes the acting very seriously.
Yeah,
but
we have to put that aside.
He would throw a little bit of that in, but we straightened him out.
Would he wear the cowboy fringe jacket, the buckskin thing? Okay, I've gone too far.
All right.
As good a time as any, I believe, for a commercial break. When we come back, more with Edward Burns, so stick around. We'll see you in a second. Cool. Back, everybody. Sitting here with Edward Burns. And you know what interested me? I was reading a profile of you today, and you're talking about your youth, and you said you were not sort of an obsessive film nut. A lot of people like Spielberg or Scorsese, when they were kids, that's all they thought about is film, film, film. They watched movies all the time. Not the case with you.
No, I wasn't one of those, like I said, they call them film geeks as a kid. I really, I mean, my favorite films were anything that involved full frontal nudity. I mean, Porky's was, Porky's was one of my favorites. I didn't discover, filmmaking or cinema until I was in college.
Do you consider Porky cinema?
No. It's great entertainment is what it is.
Yeah. I'm so saying about your movies. Whenever I see, in your movies, of course, always a lot of Irish, characters, a lot of characters from like Long Island, the New York area. But a lot of scenes where people are drinking beer. Is that my imagination, or is that something that you try and incorporate into the movie?
I just, you sort of write about what you know. And,
Okay.
I still...
So let me understand this. Your passions are beer and full frontal nudity.
And that's a good combination,
Right.
You meet the
right back
girl.
with more American film talk after this. But that's what you like? I mean,
I kind of write these sort of small character-driven pieces about sort of the people I grew up with, and that's what I do for recreation. I hang out in the bar in my neighborhood, so it's you try and draw a realistic picture of the world you know. Everyone I know, for the most part, hangs out in the local bars, so it's sort of we incorporate it into the film. Plus, it's nice to have beers on the set.
Writing a situation where you're sitting there and they're changing the lights and moving
cable.
cable.
What can we have them do in this scene? Well, why don't we bring out a six-pack and we'll come up with something.
We'll figure something out from there. Tell us about Saving Private Ryan. This is a movie. It's a Spielberg film.
Yeah.
And you're a big part of this film.
Yeah, I got this was like my big break. Chance to be in a huge Hollywood film. It's big World War II epic. The film starts with D-Day. First half hour is D-Day's recreated, and then Hanks, who plays our captain, gets an assignment that he's got to go find an American paratrooper who's dropped behind enemy lines. That character is Matt Damon. And it's Hanks and the five of us go look for Damon.
Right. And so the D-Day, I mean, you're talking about very expensive scenes. Is that... You're used to scenes where you're sitting around with a couple of other people in a bar. If something goes wrong, it's not a big deal. A D-Day scene has a couple of thousand extras, probably.
Very
boats.
Different situation. I mean, there was one scene, I remember, it's just after we've crossed the beach, we've come up the cliff, and now Hanks is leading us to a German bunker. So the shot starts with the camera looking down the cliff. There's 2,000 extras coming off the beach. Battleships are out there, things are blowing up. Hanks comes into frame, and he takes us, along the cliff behind a German bunker, and then I'm supposed to grab one of my grenades, pull the pin, toss it to Andy, and I take another one and toss it
I didn't know Andy was in the film.
Well, Tom Sizemore was playing Andy.
You should tell me these things, just so.
But to a guy, to my right.
That's what
who looked like Andy.
What's Andy in France for? So you had to do this big complicated scene with 1,000 extras, and then toss.
I pulled the pin, and instead of tossing it to my guy, I tossed it over his head right at camera. So obviously, if that was a real grenade, we'd have an explosion, and it would be the end of the situation. So Stephen has to call cut, and he's not very happy because he's got to put 2,000 extras back in the boat, reset all these explosions. I mean, redoing that shot probably cost more than, you know, No Looking Back in its entirety.
Right.
So
let me get this straight. You screw that up, but you get the toss at the Mets game yesterday right. That's the thing.
Well, they see I had the strength, you know? I mean,
that's the thing you really...
strong arm,
that's what you really practice. No Looking Back is opened in New York and L.A. right now. Right. And then it's going to open nationwide on April 10th, so watch for that. Saving Private Ryan, huge movie. A lot of people are talking about it. Opens July 27th. And you have a new book out of your 3 screenplays, which is available all over the place. Edward Burns, continued success. Thanks for coming by. We're going to take a break, and then we'll be back with some brand new public service announcements. So stick around.